Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, Yins know what happens when things look mucky. I think the beginning of the game, if you watch, it's just like you could see both teams were still in finals and both teams were still whatever. It was ugly. First media was bad. Second media was better for us. 19-15 as poorly as we played. And then next thing you know, the wheels fell off. And I give you guys this credit. I thought Yins did a great job with making sure that you guys did what was important in the scouting. I thought you guys took away some of our key guys early. I thought that led to some baskets for you guys that really helped you guys, get some things going early. I thought, obviously, Ugly, Federico played great. I think Ugly didn't have any rebounds against Vanderbilt, and then Federico played great against Sacred Heart. Now Federico played great again. I think the two twins, obviously, I think you guys, Yins are trying to get those guys involved in your flow as well too. And your guards are really good. The transfer portal's been great to you. I told Jeff yesterday when we met up outside in the parking lot, I told Jeff, the one thing I noticed about your team after watching all your games is you guys are the Grizzlies won 8 out of their last 9, so 8-1. They're the hottest NBA team. You guys won. Now Yins have won 7-1 your last 8. And I said, you guys are so connected. Like, you guys look like you actually enjoy each other. You actually look like you like each other. And you actually look like a team that has some purpose. And I said, you can see it on video. And I said, I don't know that well because we ain't played him. I've seen him a couple times, but I really haven't focused in on him. But to me, he looks like he has a group that really likes each other. And that's hard to do when you get all these transfers in because guys are trying to, do whatever. But I think he's got these guys in the right place. Obviously, you got Syracuse next, so you'll see how that progresses. At NC State's a huge win, big-time win. At Northwestern, another big-time win, and, of course, 1-point game at Vanderbilt. So I think what he has going and the way you guys got it going, you can shoot it from 3, but today we didn't let you take a lot because that's what we do. But to your credit, you guys went inside, and I think you guys started the second half. We were down 14. I think you went 9-0 or something like that, whatever it was in that first media. Kind of separated it from there, and then it wasn't, just whatever 0-0 the rest of the game. But I thought Federico really set a tone. I thought he really had a presence inside. And then those two guys, those all dudes are 7 foot plus wingspan. So the way in which they cover ground and the way in which they caused us some problems in certain different areas that we really thrive at, especially the schedule we played. We played Gonzaga, Houston, Kentucky. I mean, we played some dudes. So to your guys' credit, I really like his team. I like where they're at right now. I'm sure he's not happy that you guys have to take a little bit of a break. He probably wishes you guys didn't have to because of the way you're playing. So I think it's going to be a really, really good year for you guys. And I think you guys have a chance to really be one of those teams that nobody really talked about. But now as you progress through and you get going, next thing you know, that's tough once the league gets going. So I like this team.
Matthew, what about your team? After 10 tough non-conference games, how are you guys set up for the
this is our 93rd money game since I've been here. And we've always have to do this, so we always have to navigate that path, and it's extremely difficult for us. And that's why we've always been a great team in February, and 75% roughly. Usually when we get to February, we got to reinvent the wheel. We got to help our guys learn how to win again. But I don't take these games lightly. I coach them just as hard as I coach them at any other game. Our expectations is we're not here to get a steak. We're here not to get a check. We're here to win. And that's why you lose a buzzer beater at Duquesne. You got a 1-possession game at Washington. You have those kind of games. So I really think we have a really, really good team, really experienced team, a team that knows how to do certain things. We just got to win and get that feeling and get sort of like that. You get 1, next thing you know, 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8. Next thing you know, you start going down the pike. And so we got 1 at home coming up, and then we're at Bethune, who we had just played, and then the league's on. Our league is really, really good. One of our teams won at St. Bonaventure last night. I've said it since the beginning. I think there's 7 or 8 teams in the Atlantic Sun. And there's 7 or 8 teams in the A-Sun that can win the tournament. Maybe not the regular season because it's 18 games, but can win the tournament. Because in our level, right, you get rid of the North and we're Florida. Now we're buying games. Actually, we're going to the tournament every year because of our record. We finished 4th or higher for 9 straight years. However, when you get to the tournament, it's going to be, it's only a one-bid league. So it's going to be really, really, really intense. The entire league, every single night is going to be a fight. So it's something I'm excited about. But in the same breath, we gotta get on that winning path, so to speak.
When you're playing these bye games and you're not on the winning path yet necessarily against this tough competition, how do you keep your team from getting down about losing maybe against a tougher opponent? Houston, let's say they're one of the top teams in the country. How do you keep your team's energy up, keep them striving to improve throughout the season? Very,
very difficult because they're athletes as well. So the demoralizing part is the reality of it. Coach's expectations go along with that, and now it even becomes greater. And so the pressures that those guys are on and the feeling that they feel tomorrow when we rinse it out and we watch it through video and we show this, that, or the other, they've done a great job. The one thing I would say we've had in 14 years, and I give credit to our staff, I give credit to our culture, I give credit to the way in which we go about it with our guys with transparency, we're extremely resilient. And these guys understand it is what it is, and then what do we have next? And that's always been, and that's why you've beaten Purdue or you've beaten Illinois or you've been in some games because we've had that same approach, that consistent approach. But it's very, very difficult for those guys because at the end of the day, that length, that hitting, that all those things that they have to go through, it's like you said, it's Gonzaga. It's it's just bam, ba bam, ba bam, ba bam, and but they also know coming to our program, this is what they're going to have. This is what it's about, and so they know that coming in. So we're very, very good about that. But it is a mental part of it. The hidden opponent that's always inside you, talking to you. It creeps up on you, and it makes it difficult. And like I said, we've got to reinvent. We've got it almost like the internet. When it screws up and you don't like it, you hit refresh, right? So we've got to do that, and we've got to make sure we do it properly and like as soon as we have to do it, which is tomorrow.
Anything else, guys?
Yeah.
Manny's last night?
We went on Thursday night, right before the volleyball game. There's a good crowd in there too.
Yeah.
They were super excited. Yeah, tonight we're going to Minios.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you're obviously a Pittsburgh guy. I mean, you can tell by the way you're answering these questions and everything. What does the basketball culture in Pittsburgh mean to you? You've coached at all the levels around here. What's the basketball culture in this city like?
So growing up, it was always football. It was all about football. Everything was football. And then as I got older and as I started getting into coaching, basketball really started coming around. And of course, those, whether it be, Dr. Chipman or even, when you had some of those guys that are hanging up in the rafters. And then you look at what Jamie did and the consistency that he had as well too, and had it going in the NCAA tournaments. And you look at the banners, and I think 2016 was the last time, if I'm not mistaken, that you guys were there. So from that aspect of it, and how many great players have come through here and maybe gone to other places and come back. When I say here, it's funny because people that aren't from Pittsburgh say they're from Pittsburgh, but they're really not from. But everybody claims Pittsburgh, right? But enough players in that circle that have been here and claim Pittsburgh. And so to me, I think it's grown and grown and grown and grown and grown. It's not just a football anymore. And I think, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think Jeff is back at that place where he's got a team that can really compete in the ACC, and he has the ability. Because one thing they have is, they have a lot of depth. They have a lot of dudes. They have dudes that barely played and barely did this, that, or the other. So they got a lot of dudes. They got some pieces that they can intertwine very, very well. And if somebody even gets hurt, not just Ugley, let's say a guard goes down, they got some dudes that they can move around. Hinson's not maybe the fleetest of feet, but he can move down and he can play that, that guard position if he has to. The bigger, like a wing type of deal for you guys. So I think you guys, hopefully you guys understand, or the people here understand, Hopians understand that, you got a chance because of the pieces that you have. You just got to continue to move forward with them.
Good.